then y'all introduce yourselves, right?
Hello, from the Claudias and Olivia.
Okay. And then, do y'all want to say, like,
hey, let's just get into it.
3, 2, 1, go!
So welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm super glad we're finally here. We've been planning this gathering of advising series, College 101. And our goal today is we want to provide information for our graduating seniors, new students who are interested in coming to Southwest Texas College, and more importantly, also our parents, because we get so many questions and concerns, and we want everybody to feel reassured. So, but before we get started, I want to introduce my team today. So,
I'm Claudia de la Garza from Eagle Pass, a success coach.
on to my left.
I am Olivia Rich, success coach here in Uvalde.
So I'm Claudia Valdez. I am a success coach, but also the holistic advising lead, and I'm located in Eagle Pass. And we're here today to get started with the basics. And first off, ladies, I want you to share. So, for students who are graduating high school, what should they be thinking about? What is the first thing they should be doing in their journey to Southwest Texas College?
ApplyTexas. That's the first thing that they need to do.
ApplyTexas.
So ApplyTexas, and then from there, obviously we want everybody to know that once their application is processed, they're going to get prompted about documents and just requirements that are needed. New student orientation, super important, right?
But it does take maybe a week, 2 weeks for them to get a student ID. Once they get their ID, then they can register for the orientation.
Their ID number. Once you get your ID number, yes.
And then what else?
They'll need to submit high school transcripts. So guys, if you have not and you've already applied, please make sure you're visiting with your schools to request your high school transcripts. Submitting their meningitis. What else, ladies? I'm trying to think.
If they need to take the TSI, which is our entrance exam, depending on what type of program they're going to be majoring in, they might be required to do the TSI.
And
maybe not.
And I want to add, many of our sites, many of our campuses do offer the TSI, guys. So make sure you're signing up for that. So once that is all done, then, and remind, just I want to mention, some programs don't require a TSI, so you may not need to take it. Coming onto our campus, calling onto our campus, visiting with one of your success coaches, to get then the next steps of registration going. But there's always that question about, well, I've applied, documents are submitted, orientation has been done, but what am I going to pursue, right? And so we have, what advice
would you give students who have no idea? Well, and I want to backtrack real quick, just really quickly. Students, if you have applied on ApplyTexas and you don't know what the next steps are, and we mentioned all of these things that you have to have, give us a call. We don't mind just saying, hey, the next step is just give it a couple of weeks. Hey, it's been a couple of weeks. I haven't received anything. It's been a month, Miss Rish. I haven't received anything. Great. Let me go find out what to do for you. But we want you to feel comfortable with contacting your success coach, contacting admissions and finding out where do I go from here. And we want to make sure that you feel safe and secure in knowing that. And then on to, well, what do I want to study? I have the longest acronym in the world. WDY, WT, BWYGU. What do you want to be when you grow up? We've been asking you since you were a baby, right? What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to study? What do you see yourself doing in the next 10, 15 years? We have so many different programs available on this campus, and I feel like it's such a blessing that we offer these amazing technical programs as well as academic programs for students to pursue and see if it's something that they want to do. And even if you find out it's something you don't want to do, that's what we are here for. That's why we're called success coaches. We want to help you find what you want to do and make sure that you're going to be happy doing it for the rest of your life.
And we do want, we want people to feel comfortable. One of the things that, our success coaches do such an amazing job is sitting with our students, talking with our parents, and sharing the information about our programs. That's one thing we want to stress is we want y'all to feel comfortable, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a visit in person. We have such amazing programs, and you're welcome to visit on to our website, www.swtx.edu.
And go under the pathways.
And go into our pathways section and read a little bit more. And if from that you then have questions for us, contact, right? We're here to guide y'all. We're here to help y'all. We're here to make your journey as smooth as possible.
And that goes into advising and student support. So the question for me, for you ladies, would be, what role does an advisor play in a student's college journey?
I love to share with my students that I'm here to support them through their time at Southwest Texas College. And even then, helping them move on to the next step. So I want them to know that I'm a person that you come and find when you're struggling with something, when you have a question, when you don't know where to start. We want you to feel comfortable to say, my success coach is someone I can go to. And that, parents, reiterate that to your students, because one of the scariest things that I feel students share that they're nervous about is talking to people on campus, staff. And so success coaches are a safe place for them to come and share.
Well, I feel that we're a vital role.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then what are some resources available to help students succeed academically?
We have a lot of resources available on every single campus.
A lot of great resources.
Great resources. We've got a care team on every campus. We've got a food pantry on every campus now. We've got student success centers that provide wonderful tutoring and tutors. And I want to give a shout out real quick to our success center coordinators, Miss Annalisa Conde, Miss Laura Gloria, and Miss Areli, for all that they do at the different centers, because they're the ones that make sure that we have wonderful leaders to help guide our students when they're experiencing problems in some of those courses. So
yeah, and we really want students to maximize the resources. We have some great opportunities to help them be successful in the classroom and in their professional careers, so in the future. But honestly, explore, check them out, and use resources that are on campus.
And with that, we go into financial aid, ladies.
So financial aid. So you can register, but when you don't have money to pay, then that makes it hard. So we want students to know that we have the FAFSA, which is a free application for federal student aid, and it's important for students. We encourage everybody. We always get students who say, "Well, I'm probably not going to qualify." I would still apply. There's no harm in applying. So in applying, you have the opportunity to see if you qualify for grants, which is free money. Opportunity for work study, which is the opportunity to work on campus. And we have some wonderful work studies. We have great help at each site. And also, in the midst of maybe needing a little extra, if you need a student loan, it allows you to access that as well.
And one thing I do want to point out is when applying for financial aid, no one should be charged. The application is absolutely free. And if you need help, our advisors in financial aid will assist you with that.
And another thing, we have great staff that can help you fill out your FAFSA at our campus. So reach out. They're there to help y'all, and we want you to maximize that assistance.
And remember, it's not complete until you receive that. Most students think they've completed it. If you don't see that completed with all the confetti being thrown out, you haven't completed it yet. You also want to pay attention to the academic year that you're completing it for, because sometimes that can be a little confusing between the academic semesters. So right now you really should be completing that 26-27 FAFSA.
Yeah, you know what, Olivia, thank you for mentioning that, because we have a lot of our high school seniors who as a requirement had to complete the FAFSA, but that may not necessarily mean that we have it yet. You want to make sure with your financial aid office that we've received it, and if not, so that they can add the school to the application. So always visiting with financial aid to make sure everything's in order is key.
So we're almost at the end here. Section 5, parent questions and concerns. And we do hear a lot from parents sometimes. And parents, we are not mean success coaches. We want to help your student, but when they do get to high school, when they do get to college and they're no longer in high school, we do have to treat them like adults, and we want to make sure that their information is protected at all times.
Because they are considered adults.
They are considered adults, correct. So even if they're 17 and they graduate from high school early, we know that they're still under your roof and they're still not legally 18, but for the college, we treat them like adults, and their information is their information, which is why we have an awesome FERPA form that you can have signed.
They only have to fill it out once.
Once, yes.
But what does the FERPA stand for, Ms. Kelly?
So FERPA stands for Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. So this is something that at the higher education level, college with us, so students need to fill this out in order to allow parents, a significant other, to be able to access information, to contact us and ask if their part of the journey in helping support information or just ask questions, we need to have this document in our records to be able to assist them. And as Ms. Olivia said, we're not trying to give them a hard time, but at the end of the day, we're here to protect your privacy and your information. So, if you're going to have that person part of that journey, include them, come visit us, contact our offices so that you can get this completed.
And we actually love getting to know parents and their students. It's really nice to see parents coming in with their students to find out, okay, what does my child's academic journey look like?
You know what?
For the first time in college, especially for first year students. Like it's refreshing to still see their parents coming in just to try to figure it out.
Share that with families.
Yes.
You are part of the process. Students are successful because of that support system they have at home and in their communities. And so they're part of the process. And so we love to see that and to remind students like, hey, if you have somebody that's on your side to help you and get you through this process, make them part of it by filling out this FERPA. So,
Exactly. And with that, it leads us to the last section, campus life and student experience. So how can students get involved on campus? Student organizations.
Student organizations, guys, they're great opportunities to network, to meet other students. I love to tell students on campus, open the door, allow yourself the opportunity to meet new students, because you may be talking to somebody who's pursuing the same program, like, oh, I'm going into nursing. Oh, I'm going into nursing. And you start to exchange information and ideas and thoughts. And I spoke to this person. And so, you never realize how much you'll learn and gain from being part of student organizations, being involved on campus, until you engage and you start to have these experiences. And honestly, it really aids in that academic journey.
And if they don't know who to contact, they can contact the student organization, the student coordinator for every campus, and they'll let you know what activities or what organizations are offered at each campus.
Yeah. And we also have some of the best events, guys, on campus. If you're not part of an organization, volunteer at our great student events. We have a yearly Christmas at the college. It's
right
around
around
the corner. So we're always excited for that. But some of the greatest opportunities happen on your campus.
Not to skip Halloween and Thanksgiving, right?
No,
but
the students look forward to Christmas at the college.
But I know that's such a memorable event
Yes.
for all sites
Yes.
and for the community, students and parents. So get involved. Talk to your faculty. Visit them in their office hours. Ask questions, on campus. Visit your staff, your success coaches.
And we've noticed that students that get involved in the organizations are more successful.
Absolutely. There's data
Academically.
that backs that
Yes,
up.
exactly.
Yeah, students who are involved are much more
Well,
successful.
and definitely students that reach out to their instructors.
Yes.
In some of these programs, especially for nursing, they require a reference from one of
Yes.
your faculty. And so
They need to know you.
We tell them from the very beginning, hey, reach out to your instructor. We have some amazing faculty here, just some of the best here in this area, and they're always willing to help the students, make sure they succeed, but you got to reach out to them. Tell them when you're struggling, let them know when you just don't understand something. Tell them thank you. But definitely reach out to your faculty. Don't be afraid to reach out to your instructors.
Yeah.
It's not like high school. They're
Yes.
teaching so many students in a classroom, but it's real refreshing to get that 1 or 2 or 10 or 15 students. It's like, hey, thanks a lot for today. That was enlightening. Or, I just don't understand this. Can you help me? And just see you on that road to success as well. And then share your stories with us. I like to ask my students at the end of the semester sometimes, like, hey, what faculty really impacted you this year? And they
I
say,
ask that to all my students.
was this instructor or that instructor? And then I'm like, that's really great to hear. Well, why is that? Well, they really did this, and this was touching, and this was amazing, and I didn't know this. And I like sending those instructors like, hey, this student said this about, like, we all need to know, like, everybody's making an impact. It goes full circle. And so, but don't be afraid, to our students, don't be afraid to reach out to us, reach out to our faculty, because all that's just going to help you get to where you're trying to get so much easier. It's going to make it so much simpler.
Yeah,
So.
we truly have the best community at all sites.
Yes.
Staff, students, faculty that come together, and we get a chance to visit with students. We get to see them outside of our offices, faculty as well, and it's really just a great experience. I think that the students that get that opportunity to be around us, really have a just positive and memorable experience. And,
Right.
and for those of you who are new, we want this not to be so scary, because college can be scary. And that's, kind of the reason why we're here today, is we wanted to say information, share information that, reassure people. And, if you're doubting about going to college, about coming onto our campus, or making that phone call about what can I pursue, what programs, when can I sign up, or how does this work? We want this to help kind of alleviate those fears. We want to work with you. We want you to feel comfortable coming to us. So,
And with that, we'll lead you into the last question, which is, what advice would you give a student that's nervous? For me, I think just get started. Stop by whatever campus you want to go to, and hey, I'm here, but I'm not sure what to do. Where do I get started? And we'll help you.
Yeah.
One thing I love to share with students is never underestimate what you're capable of doing until you try it.
Correct.
Because sometimes the unknown can be scary, but you don't know what's going to happen until you try it. And we want y'all to know that. You're capable of doing everything and anything, when you have ganas, when you put in that, I want to be here.
Anything is possible.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Everything is possible.
So,
You can do anything.
With today's series, we want to bring just general information. Obviously, we want to encourage y'all to come in and talk to us. And ladies, is there anything else that you think that is key for students to know about starting college? We're not just referring to graduating students. For those of you who are out there who have been contemplating coming to college or coming back, even for those students who have left, I always get the question about, are my credits still good? Yes, absolutely. Like, those are yours.
That's your work.
Your comp 1 is still there. You got credit.
Or
that's
that
yours.
question, I went to school 15 years ago and I did terribly. Like, I was young, I just graduated high school, I wasn't taking it seriously. We're not here to judge you. Come on in. Let's get you. Let's get you on
we're
track.
here to
Get you started.
Let's get you started.
A
Yes.
parent that stopped by last week, and I just want to show my kids that we can do it.
That's
Yes,
right.
that's
And
so
just get
awesome.
started.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we get parents and students coming to college at the same time, and that has been some of the neatest.
Yes. And then they get to watch them graduate.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
there's the reward right
Yes,
there.
absolutely.
So, yeah.
So we can't overemphasize, guys. We have some great programs, great opportunities, great staff, faculty that are here to help. And that's our message today, is that, come see us, come talk to us, and, put the fears aside. Talk to us.
And that is our College 101.
Yes, College
Yes.
101, it finally happened.
Yes,
So
yes.
just a special shout out to Wildlife Department for allowing us to use their room here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Another shout out to our success coaches. So to our team who's at all sites, you are amazing. Thank you. You're back in your offices right now working hard with our students who are signing up for fall semester. Before we know it, we'll be registering for spring.
October, guys. It's coming up in
So
October.
thank you to all. And there's other departments that we work honestly so closely with so many departments across campus that we are grateful and thankful, and shout out to all of them. We look forward to working with y'all in the coming semester. So
Yes.
thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
This was
Bye.
awesome. Bye.
Thank you so much, everyone.